What's up guys, we're back for another video today. You guys might be wondering, Chiedza, why haven't you been posting? And I know I always come back with the same excuse, but today this one's a solid one. I am actually in quarantine right now, and that's what I wanted to talk to you guys about today. Just like my experience coming back home, what is happening in my life currently. Let's get started with the video. So on the 16th of July, I left Canada. I had taken a flight from Vancouver to Toronto, then Toronto to Washington. And from there, I would take a repatriation flight from Washington to Joburg. In order for me to have left Canada, I would have had to get a letter from the Canadian embassy basically allowing me to leave the country. But first of all, before you do that, you need to register with whoever you're going to be taking the flight with. So I had known that KLM and Fly SAA were doing flights, and so I had registered with Fly SAA so that I'd be able to take the repatriation flight. So the actual Fly SAA flight was from Washington to Johannesburg. So all I had to do was get to Washington. So in order for me to get the clearance letter that would have allowed me to leave Canada and to leave the US, I had to contact DERCO, which I think is the Canadian embassy. But basically you like talk to them and you need to give them like your passport and also proof that you've paid for the ticket as well. So I did all that. I got my clearance letter. It was all honky-dory from there. I had taken, I think, Air Canada from Vancouver to Toronto, and then I also took Air Canada Express from Toronto to Washington. The problem with the first flight was that they weren't social distancing people. I had basically worn like this hat that also has a visor, and then I'd also worn like this mask that had filters as well, and I also had disposable gloves on, so I was not in contact with anyone.
Yes sir.
And for the second flight, it was basically like empty. There was 5 people, but to be fair, that airplane was like really small. But the thing is, like, there was so much distance in between all of us. It was kind of like, why are they even operating this flight if there's like 5 people on this flight type of thing, you know? I had to pay for luggage as well for the Air Canada flight because I was only allowed 2 checked-in bags for the Fly SAA flight. But with Air Canada, I don't think they give you luggage if you're doing domestic. So by the time that I'd gone to Washington, I was like, no ma'am. I could not even function properly. I was hungry. They did not feed us on both Air Canada flights. I was starving. I was like, I need to get some food in my system quick. By the time that I got into Washington, I had a layover, I think, of like 5 or 6 hours because the flight was gonna be at 20 to 8 p.m. mind you. I had landed at 10:30 a.m. That's when I had gotten there. So I had to figure out what to do and like stay awake so that I wouldn't miss the flight and, you know, have to check in my bags or whatever. So yeah, so I'd gotten there at 10:30 a.m. People were busy like repacking their bags because apparently they're very strict about how much you can carry with your checked-in bags. On the letter it said 20 kgs each. Apparently I thought that me weighing my bags myself would be 20 kgs, which was not the case. Which is not the case. My carry-on bag was 14 kgs. How much was I allowed on? 7 kgs. You better stop! I was shook. I was like, I did not know that thing was that heavy, to be honest. Luckily, my checked-in bags were like 21, but this girl was busy telling me like she's seen photos of people having to throw away their clothes because then you make the 20 kg mark, and I was like, that is not gonna be me. I refuse. I'll bribe someone if I have to. I'm taking all my stuff to SA. And that's what happened. But I didn't have to bribe anyone. Basically, they asked the people who were checking us in at the counters how much we were allowed to carry, and it was 23 kgs. And the thing is, I had thrown away my coconut oil by that time because I wanted to make my suitcase lighter, and I'd thrown away a small sketchbook as well, but I think I just used that to take notes, so it didn't really matter. In the meantime, while I was doing the layover stuff, I still hadn't eaten. I had just gone to like T-Mobile to sort out my phone so that I could have a cheaper contract while I was gone, and that's what I did. But I was so hungry. I think all I had eaten was like candy and water. That was not a good time for me, y'all. I'm gonna be honest. I think 4 hours before the flight was departing, they finally checked us in. I had to take some stuff out from my carry-on bag into my checked-in bags because the lady was like, nah, that is double the weight that you're allowed. But I basically took all my stuff, so it was a win for me. But managed to check in. I went through security, and yeah, it was all good. I basically just got food by the time that I'd gone through. I had Wendy's. I didn't want to eat Wendy's, but it was like the only restaurant open. Sadly, not even Starbucks was open. How did this Starbucks not open? Someone explain. I basically took like 20-minute naps so that I'd wake up because I was so tired after I'd eaten. And I was charging my phone, and then I put on an alarm every 20 minutes to wake me up, so to make sure I wouldn't miss the flight.
Oh, yeah, the ghetto.
Oh, also when I checked in, I had to sign forms that basically consented to me doing quarantine at a hotel of the government's choice. And I had to like put in my health history and basically all those things, like all those COVID things that they need to ask you at the airport. So I'd gotten on the flight. The flight was 15 hours. Let me tell you now, I'm still jet lagged. I'm still taking naps in between because I cannot handle staying awake during the day. And I wake up at like 1 a.m. in the morning because I cannot handle like sleeping for that long. And I'm always hungry. I don't know why I'm always hungry. So by the time that we had landed, we had to wait on the plane for I think about like, I want to say like 30 minutes to an hour, because they were still checking in people from other flights like Fly Emirates. And then I finally got to go through. Passports, I think probably took like 20 minutes. But the thing is, so they were putting our luggage on the runway, like the plane runway, so that we wouldn't have to go to like baggage claim and like potentially expose each other to the virus. So all our baggage was like on the runway. You had to take a minibus to get to the bags. Guys, how long did we wait in that minibus until someone said something? I think I fell asleep for like 2 hours on that minibus, because that's how long they were taking to get us to our freaking bags at the runway. I was so tired. I was so hungry. Finally, after some complaining, we managed to get to the landing strip. I got my bags. Mostly everyone got their bags, and we got into the bus, and we had to wait again. I think we waited for like an hour because someone couldn't find their bags. Someone had taken someone else's bags, so they had to check all the trailers because that's where I'd put our bag. And then 2 people had passport problems. Tell me, sir, how do you get on a flight when you know you'll have passport problems?
Who are you?
And make the rest of us wait. So then we went on our way to the hotel. So they didn't tell us where this hotel was until we basically arrived, which is kind of risky because I've heard stories of other facilities being not up to par. But yeah, I'm at a pretty nice hotel, guys. And I know that other people went to like the Leonardo, the Capitol, which are also pretty nice hotels. But I'm pretty sure the people in business class are the ones at the Leonardo, because they paid like 51,000 rand for those tickets. So we finally arrived. I think we had to wait. I don't even know how long because I was like asleep. I woke up at some point. But I think we were there for like 2 hours as well, because each bus had to take turns like taking people in, and then people had to sign so that they would be assigned their rooms, and then you'd also have to get your passport scanned so that they know who you are and that everything that you were saying was like true. Finally, we made it to the front of the hotel, took out our bags, they sanitized them, signed my forms, they scanned my passport, they assigned me my room. I was like, heck yeah. And they gave us food as well, but it wasn't that great, I'm gonna be honest. All the other meals so far have been pretty decent. So I got my room. I have a nice big window. I'm gonna give you guys a tour in a bit. That was my journey back here on the repatriation flight. I'm gonna be here for 14 days, and then I need to get tested for COVID as well. But yeah, let me give you the room tour. This is mirror. This is the chair and desk. There's a small little chair over there, and there's big window. I also have a TV, and then here's where I put snacks and all that. I'm going to blur out my suitcase because it's a mess, but here's the bed, freaking gigantic. hallway. Here's wardrobe where I'm putting my suitcase and stuff. And then here's the bathroom. So I got a shower, toilet, bathtub. Yeah, that's what's in here so far. That's pretty much been what's been going on with my life. This was the update. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. Leave a like if you liked the video. Leave a comment down below of what you want to see from me next. What I can do is very limited, so what you have to suggest has to be within these 4 walls, basically. And don't forget to subscribe so you can join this weird ass family of our... Ooh. Gosh, let's do that again. And don't forget to subscribe so you can join this weird ass family of ours so you can cringe and watch me feel a little life. I'll see you guys next time. Love ya. Peace.